India, a land so diverse that every few steps feels like a whole new world. Although transforming at a rapid pace, India boldly and fluently maintains its cultural, historical, and spiritual treasures. Join us as we explore the communities and traditions that are only in India. The Indus Valley Civilization, dating back at least 5,000 years, is one of the oldest in the world. With diversified influences ranging from traders to conquerors, India's beliefs and practices have shaped archetypes that may be unusual to foreigners. From the holy cow to the Indian head nod, here is our list of 10 common cultural curiosities in India. The practice of eating food with hands dates back centuries. In Indian culture, the practice is founded on Ayurvedic teachings. The Vedic communities believed that hands hold power and our bodies have a sacred connection with nature. In Ayurvedic text, each finger represents 5 different elements. The thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky represent space, air, fire, water, and earth, respectively. That is why mudras, symbolic and ritualistic gestures used in prayer or spiritual practices, are performed with the hands and fingers. When food is eaten with the hands, the fingers should come together to touch. The practice is believed to increase awareness of our taste buds and creates both a physical and spiritual connection with the food. Adopted during the Vedic period, touching the feet of elders is a common practice in India. Also known as Charan Sparsh, it is a way to offer respect and seek blessings in return. Elders can be considered parents, grandparents, siblings, teachers, priests, or other respected senior citizens. It is believed that when a person bows down to touch the feet of elders, the ego comes to an end. As an individual offers respect to an elder's wisdom, knowledge, age, and experience, they are blessed in return. Indians will touch the feet during many special and sacred occasions, including weddings, birthdays, an important exam, or journeying abroad. In India, it is common for heterosexual men to hold hands and wrap their arms around one another in public. This bromance is different from same-sex attraction. It is loving but not sexual. While there are differing theories as to how the public affection started, many believe it stems from gender segregation. Traditionally, women would stay home while the men would work outside. The camaraderie would provide emotional nourishment among groups of men. While it is acceptable for males to show affection, the public display of intimacy between men and women is still widely considered inappropriate. In Indian society, the family is an institution and a symbol of the collectivist culture. An especially important responsibility of family is the transmission of beliefs and core values. Traditionally, a woman would leave her home after marriage and move in with her husband and his family. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and other relatives also often reside at home. However, with urbanization and Western influence, the definition of a joint family has become more fluid. Population studies across India are showing that in the past decade, joint families have decreased in rural areas and exponentially increased in larger cities. There is generally a socioeconomic or supportive purpose. As housing costs rise and more women work outside the home, there is a need to share resources and care for children and the elderly. The head nod is so inherent to Indian culture that locals hardly realize they are doing it. Foreigners have spent years attempting to decode the interpretation. Is it a clear yes? A kind no? A maybe? A sign of uncertainty? It is difficult to say without knowledge of the context. Because Indians are raised to be pliable and polite, they may not openly convey refusal or disagreement with another person in the community. Therefore, let's just say it is an alternate to outright refusal by being deliberately vague. The cow is sacred in Hinduism and associated with several deities, notably Shiva, Indra, and Krishna. It is a symbol of life and revered as the source of food for its milk. Because cows are respected animals, they roam mostly unharmed and are familiar with the traffic and rhythms of the city. Some animal scientists estimate there are 2 cows for every person in India. With a population topping 1.3 billion people, that means the country may share space with billions of bovines. Many millions of cows are now destroying crops and blocking traffic on already congested roads. Although the government and Hindu charities run shelters for aged and abandoned cows, they are too few to accommodate the millions of strays. With Western influences, beef is becoming more available but still considered uncommon. If you visit an Indian McDonald's, you will not be able to order a beef burger. The menu includes more vegetarian options like a veg Maharaja Mac and McSpicy Paneer. Atiti Devo Bhava, meaning a guest is like God, is a Sanskrit verse from an ancient Hindu scripture that became part of the code of conduct for Indian society. It is a sacred guest-host relationship that often includes 5 key practices. Fragrance, as that is the first element a guest notices upon entering a home. Lamp, to illuminate body language and create a positive interaction. Edibles, usually fruit or sweets, to share nourishment together. Rice, a symbol of being undivided. And a flower, as a gesture of goodwill. The India Tourism Department has also adopted Atiti Devo Bhava as a social awareness campaign to welcome incoming travelers. The concept of treating guests as God is also why India is globally renowned for remarkable hospitality. There are weddings, and then there are Indian weddings. A traditional Indian wedding averages 3 days and varies according to the region, religion, resources, and family preferences. A typical Hindu celebration starts with a puja, a ritual to offer blessings to deities or honor guests and relatives. The second day is reserved for Mehendi, a celebration when female guests adorn their hands and feet with henna, followed by a festive dance and music-filled Sangeet. The third day consists of the ceremony and reception, often with the groom arriving on horseback to the venue. Guest lists are often in the hundreds, if not thousands, and the festivities include elaborate costume changes, choreographed dances, extensive decor, and indulgent food stations. The ceremony can also be at unusual times, based on the couple's astrology chart, and last for hours. Arranged marriages have long been the norm in Indian society, where the families of the bride and groom select the respective partner. Recent studies suggest that fewer unions are now arranged without consent, although 80% of marriages are still considered arranged in some form. Owing to its rich amalgamation of ethnic backgrounds, languages, and religious sentiments, India is truly a land of festivals. There is an average of 30 annual festivals in each Indian state, and almost every week is marked by an important holiday that the country celebrates in unison. Some of the most popular festivals include Holi, Diwali, Navratri, Eid al-Fitr, Pongal, Ganesh Chaturthi, and even Christmas. With the innumerable communities honoring their respective cultures with different fairs and festivals, foreigners can almost always secure an invitation to a celebration. Expect an enthusiastic medley of singing, chanting, and dancing, and don't forget to always ask permission before photographing people, temples, and idols. For many foreigners, traversing India by train is an essential cultural experience. Visions loom of either luxury overnight trains like Palace on Wheels or overcrowded carriages with locals train surfing. There is something refreshingly charming when traveling by train, perhaps because the tradition is an integral part of the local transportation. The Indian rail system is the second largest in the world and serves nearly 20 million people at over 7,500 stations daily. Traveling by train is a journey through and with a microcosm of the entire country. Families share food with other passengers, while chaiwalas traverse the train selling steaming cups of tea. Depending on the route and class of service, the journey can be intense, colorful, loud, and pungent, an experience that activates all the senses. Did you enjoy learning about India's cultural curiosities? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more destination inspiration.